It was the hardest, most difficult. People that know my story know that, listen, I love Michael Moorer, and Michael Moorer was a tremendous fighter, the first Southpaw heavyweight champ. He went from light heavyweight champion, dominant, to heavyweight champion. He was a special, special guy. But it was difficult. But it's supposed to be. It's part of the, it's sometimes part of the, just sometimes it's part of the deal, baby.
But weren't there some challenges with the Shagayev camp? Didn't you get there late? Talk to me about that.
Well, that's what I'm kind of leading to. As difficult as it was with Michael, it was like being in the Willy Wonka chocolate factory compared to what I dealt with for this camp. Because this one was in Russia, and without going too crazy here, the Shaolin people were not the most, they were not Boy Scouts, okay? And, or Cub Scouts. And I wasn't getting paid properly. There was some things going on. I have a great attorney, a great friend, David Berlin, and it was difficult. Like, how are we going to make it right? They're in Russia. They're in Germany. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, their accounting system was a little different, okay? It was a little different. All right, Ken? It was they were going by metrics. We were going by whatever. And we weren't comfortable. I didn't think they were great people. They didn't love me anymore than I loved them. But I was doing a job. And then you had Nikolai, the guy, whatever, with the ranch and with the dogs and the whatever. And so I wasn't going to go and train them because they had never paid me what they were supposed to. They had never signed what they were supposed to. There was a few things that still were just weren't done. David said, you can't go. You can't go. And my family said, you must not go. And one thing, and they could do what they wanted in Russia a little bit, and all of a sudden, 10 weeks before the fight became 7, 7 became 6, 6 became... You need 8 weeks to train for a fight. 7 weeks you could do it. 6 weeks you could squeak by. Anything less than that, it's irresponsible. You're shooting dice. It gets to a month, Ken. It's over. It's over. I'm not going to train him. I got a month to train him. The kid been off. He was heavy. He wasn't in shape. I'm not going. It's done. Finished. Over. Done. Gone. Kaput. Blup. How do you say that in Russian? Any language.
Yet.
And what happens? Sometimes the people, there's a reason that people are not trustworthy because they don't tell the truth. They had never told the fighter. I was very clear. I'm not coming. It's 1 month before the fight. I'm in Las Vegas doing ESPN Friday Night Fights, and it's my birthday. It's July 29th. And I get a phone call during the afternoon before my show. And it's my fighter, Alexander Povetkin. And he doesn't speak English, but, you could say, hello, Teddy. We could do that. Stuff like that. Happy birthday. It hit me. He didn't know. He thought I was still coming for the fight. They never told him.
It's a month to go.
Make all the faces you want. I agree. I realize after I get off the phone, I call my family and I'm upset. And they say, Dad, what's the matter? You got the show tonight. They said, this kid thinks I'm going to train him. They never told him. Well, that's their fault. Now, that's easy to go. That's my family. They're not wrong. They're protecting me. That's their fault, Dad. It's got nothing to do with you. I said, no. He thinks at the end of the day, when it's all over and he loses this title, he's going to think that I betrayed him. He's going to think I left him and walked out on him. And that's on me. I can't hide behind Russians, Germans. That's on me. Yeah, but they the ones who did it. I said he thinks they lied. They didn't tell him. He thinks I'm coming. He was dependent on me. He doesn't understand all this stuff. They didn't pay me. They've been cheating me on these fights, everything else. So I called David Berlin, or my family called him. He called me, whatever it was, one of the few people I trust besides my family. And he says, you can't go. Anyway, we get it worked out. I tell him, listen, I'm going. And we get it worked out the best we can. And 3.5 weeks before the fight, I go. And it was the scariest plane ride I ever took. Because I didn't know where I was going. I felt like I was going into oblivion. Usually you're going with a confidence, with a plan. You're nervous, but at least you know that you can trust your ability, trust the time you have. I didn't have time. I had no time. 3.5 weeks. The kid's not in shape. I'm going to go there. I don't know what the people's attitude's going to be because of the animosity I just described. I'm going to be alone. I'm going to be isolated. I was scared. I was uneasy about this whole thing. But I was more scared about letting them down. I was more scared about feeling the way I was going to feel 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever I was going to feel later as a person, as a human being. I was more scared of that. And my family was like, but it's there. I said, I'm going to feel it. Me, not them. And I got on the plane. I had no idea how we were going to get this done. And when I got there, at least you get your hand, it got worse. So we got 2.5, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a little less. So at the early part, after I got everybody thrown out and we went through this thing, the manager made one face-saving call or visit. And it was all about safety. He wanted to show me he was the guy. He was the boss. Hey, I'm all alone here.
Yeah.
I mean, you think you got to write it up in the sky? Really? You think you got to fly a plane and write it in the sky? You think I don't get it? I mean, you don't get it. You're that insecure. I get it. So here I am in the gym, and who comes in, Ken? In the new gym. Big gym. His whole crew.
Oh, jeez.
His whole crew, and guess what? They're not bringing baked goods. Those are not waffles and donuts and, Dunkin' Donuts that they're carrying.
And you're by yourself, or is Saul there?
No, for this one, oh, wait, I did have Saul. I did. Saul was there. So it was me and Saul. I had Saul. And that made me feel worse. You know why? I love him. No. I love him.
No, I know what you're getting at.
Because
you don't want him to get caught up in this.
Because 2 people are going to die instead of 1.
Yeah, exactly.
And it made me feel worse.
Yeah.
And
So they come in with the whole crew. What happens?
They come in. They sit behind me in the stands. There was bleachers. They sit in the bleachers. Nikolai sits up in the front, and we're getting ready to spar. And I set my mind. Everyone has to live with themselves, right, Ken?
Yep.
And I set my mind, and it was set. It was, if I hear one word from that direction, only one person could be saying it. I'm going over there, and it's going to be the end of him and the end of me. And it's just the way it's going to be. And
I can just
and listen,
imagine the
am I
scene.
trying to be anything that, hey, scared to death, but at the same time, I can't even tell you, a coldness took over me. I was wishing to God that I would not hear a word. But at the same time, that's the only way I could survive was to not survive.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me in life, you're either living or you're surviving.
Yep.
And if you're only surviving, you ain't living. And I was so cold. My fighter, everyone felt it. It wasn't easy on him either, this poor kid.
Yeah.
And he's looking at me, and you could see he looks at my face, and I said, concentrate on the plan, one round at a time. That was a part of the plan too. I said, this is not a 12-round fight. It's a 1-round fight. He said, 1 round? I said, at 1 round until we get to the second round. Then the next round. And in that, you do not think beyond 1 round, and you be the boss. You be in control. You control yourself. You be calm. 1 round. Then the next round, 1 round. Then the next round, 1 round. And I told him, we had talks. We took walks. I said, look, we have a plan. We execute this plan, we're going to win. I didn't have to go into extra. He knew the damage that was done. He knew the circumstances. So I'm not going to lie because that would be foolish. But I'm not going to magnify it and kill him with it and destroy him with it either. So we have a plan. And I told him, I never told a fighter, I don't think, until Alexander I did, for the title fight against Adonis Stevenson. I told Povetkin, there's going to be 1 point, not 2, 1 point in the fight. It's probably going to come around the 8th round. I'm not sure. I was wrong. I was off by 2 rounds. I said, it's going to come around the 8th. Something's going to happen. I didn't want to say it, but I thought he was going to get caught or shot because we're going to start getting to that place where we're running on vapors.
Yeah.
And the car's going to start to cough. It's going to start to cough a little. But it's not going to stall. But it's going to come close to it. And something's going to happen. You get through that moment, you're the heavyweight champ of the world. I give you my word. And that's what we went on. I had this guy that was on their side, and he stayed with me, and he said a few things, and then he said one thing. He said one day, he said, I'm having a couple friends come in. They're going to be here with us. They'll be here with us before the fight and after the fight. And I knew what he meant. They were going to be there to look out for me in case we lost. And because, there was word that Nikolai sent over some of his friends to be there. All that stuff was hovering. No, but it was just, it was hovering. What is it going to be? You're going to be everything I just told you, and then that's going to disappear?
Yeah.
So they were there, watching, being there. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't see nobody. One thing, I'm consistent. Because when the fight ended, and now all of a sudden they're going to be friends, no. 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 I did not go to the party. I did not go shake hands with them. No. No. Did I go and say anything bad or do this or any of those things with your fingers? Or of course not. I'm not stupid. And I'm not going to do that anyway. But that's your choice. That's my choice. That's who you want to be. That stays with you. You can't be one thing and then be something else. Doesn't work that way. But I wasn't going to go and freaking act like I was parties with them and have a drink with them or friends with them. But John said to me a couple days before the fight, day before, 2 days before, I'm bringing in a couple friends. They're big. He said, they're big, they're good guys. They will be with us. And I just said, you have your pride. You don't want to act like a, you know what I mean, Ken? But
Yeah, of course.
But you sure as hell, you're glad. You don't say it, but you're glad. Let's be honest, right? And then I just said, all right, that's up to you. He said, yeah, it's up to me, Ted, and they're going to be here. I said, all right, thanks. And then he said one other thing to me. That was it. He said, remember one thing, Teddy. I know what they are, and I know what they've done in the past because they had a reputation of doing something to somebody in Russia, and somebody that apparently he knew. So he didn't really have love for them, to be quite frank.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, they might be this, they might be that, whatever, Teddy. He said, but remember one thing. We're not in Russia. We're in Germany. And it was the first time that I felt better. I never felt good about being in Germany either. I got news for you.
I feel a lot better being in Germany
but it was
than I
the
would
first
being in
time.
Russia in,
Yeah,
in
it was the
2008.
first time that it struck home. It struck home. Yeah, damn right. we're in Germany. We're not in Russia. Yeah. He said, just remember that, Ted.